Alright, what's up world? This is DJ Zio from PromoDJs.com, world-class DJing and event productions, and we're live from South Beach in the middle of Miami Music Week to bring you the brand new Pioneer DDJ-S1. And this is Pioneer's entry-level unit, their first attempt, or actually their newest attempt, into the MIDI market. As you know, Pioneers are the standard for DJing equipment in all the clubs in the world, or all the high-end clubs in the world, especially here in South Beach. You walk any club and you'll find CDJs. So what they did, they wanted to bring it into the MIDI market, and they came up with two controllers, the Pioneer DDJ-T1 for Tractor, and then the Pioneer DDJ-S1 for Serato ITCH. And I'm a big fan of Serato ITCH, and the reason I love it is because of the integration that it has between software and controller. It is so easy you just feel right at home. You load a song, you play, and you're good to go. So I wanted to show you a little bit more about what it does and how capable this unit is. And I come from a Zone DX, so I'm already used to the 4-channel mixing. That's a complaint a lot of people had between the T1 and the S1. I literally spoke with some Pioneer reps a couple of hours ago, and they mentioned that due to licensing, and because this is an actual hardware mixer, it has literally integrated circuits for mixing the headphones and the 2 channels inside, as opposed to the T1, it's all done through the software. They kept it at 2 channels. But all in all, I mean, there are rumors that Bridge will come out next month or in a couple of months, and that's gonna open up the capabilities of using 24 channels of music in Bridge, in Ableton Live, and integrate it into Serato ITCH. So that'll be pretty exciting. But in the meantime, let me show you what this does. Basically, you have your 2 channels, obviously A and B, or left and right. Just looks as familiar as any other Pioneer unit. I would say this is like a CDJ-400, or think of it as a CDJ-1000, you know, made smaller, with some pretty neat features. Let's talk about the Jog Wheel. This Jog Wheel, as you can see, you have the light spinning, giving you a presentation of a record spinning. Something very interesting for those of you that are wondering, the actual Jog Wheel is the size of a CD, exactly the size. So this is ITCH 1.8. It comes with a Pioneer unit, and if you see the Jog Wheel, it's exactly the size of a CD. So if you're wondering how big it really is, here you go. Pioneer's told me that it's exactly, or it's just like the CDJ-400 Jog Wheel. I have not played with the CDJ-400, but I can tell you it's a pretty solid Jog Wheel. It's touch sensitive, so if you touch it, the music stops, or you can scratch on it. It looks very solid. So, just like any other Pioneer unit, you have your cues, your plays. It's the buttons in Pioneers, you'll recognize them immediately. They're metal, they're solid. I mean, I have to say this, I also have the Denon DNMC 6000, and I mean, I love Denon, but they're rubber buttons, or they're plastic buttons, I don't even know what they're made of. They have to go, because when you press them on a corner, they don't press the whole thing. These are rock solid. This doesn't matter where you're pressing the actual button, they will go through. They're a little smaller than the typical buttons in a CDJ 2000 or 1000, but same button, same quality. This unit, I would say it's actually pretty light for the size, and but it looks really solid. I mean, some people are saying it was plastic. Yeah, I don't feel it plastic at all. In fact, one of my guys came in and he said, "Oh, it's all metal, right?" And it's metal on the bottom, and it looks like it's a plastic case on top, but it looks pretty good. So let me show you what you can do. Cue. One of the things, this is just like the Pioneer, the vinyl speed adjust, where you can actually break and do the break in Pioneer, and it also works in a delay start. So as you can see, when you press play, the track will go ahead slower. Pause it again. Now obviously you can bring it to 0, press play, it'll be immediate. You also have your typical loops in, out, which you can do manually, or you can press on this, and right here, if you spin it, if you change, and lower the volume just in case. If you spin this Jog Wheel right here, you can bring the auto loop function in from 2, 4, 8 beats. So we'll press 4, 2, 1. So this is your auto loop function. Of course, you can do it manually. Another very cool feature about this unit, and this is basically the only controller in the market for Serato at least that has this, is that you can actually spin. You can actually fast forward, do a needle search, a digital needle search. And if you hold the shift button, and bear with me, I literally got this a couple of hours ago, so I'm still getting used to the unit. Where is this shift button? There you go. If you hold the shift, you can actually browse through actual letters, so you can search through your database a little quicker. So that's a pretty cool feature. And I love this. I mean, usually I go ahead on my mouse and I fast forward to whatever part of the song if I want to get to. Here, this needle search, I think it's fantastic. It has 5 hotkeys. Super responsive, so I don't think you're going to have any issues with that. Obviously, it has also a famous lip mode. And basically what this does, if you turn it on, is you can actually scratch or do an effect over a word and the song will continue playing. So when we stop, it goes exactly to where the song is supposed to be. This is very useful if you have, literally, if you're playing and there's a word, a bad word or something, or you don't want it to be played, you can just scratch on it, loop it, whatever you do. And when you have this lip mode on, it'll kind of fast forward into the song wherever it's supposed to be, so you don't lose the timing on it. That's an excellent feature. Another very cool feature, you have two actual mic inputs, and the effects on the unit, and I'm going to jump to it, kind of skip through, the effects are actually signable to either deck A, deck B, or the actual mic. And this is pretty cool, and I'll show you what it does. So if you go to the mic, and you activate the effect, you turn the mic on, turn the level on, yes, 1 2 1 2. So let's go ahead and when I'm using the mic, I am going to go ahead and change the effect. Let's go ahead and press phaser. Press the on button, the phaser is on, and now all I have to do is kind of go wet dry, and check this out. 1 2 1 2, yes. Yes, 1 2, DDJS1.com. So I think it's a pretty cool feature that you can actually do the effects and assign them to the actual microphone inputs. Obviously you can assign them to either deck A or deck B, or to master. So if you're mixing 2 songs and you want the same effect on both, you can just put it on master, and it's very easy. The effects are just as you would expect if you'd use any, if you use Zone DX or any other any other hardware for Serato that has effects units, but they're laid out right here. The first one is your wet and dry, basically, or FX mix from 0 to 100. Here you can actually change the parameter or the timing for the effect. On this knob, you actually select the effect and then on and off. So we're gonna put it on deck A. We turn it on. And it's very intuitive. I mean, it's very, very intuitive. Aside of that, some of the cool features, through these buttons right here, you can go through your crates, switch crates or the files. You can browse through your files. You can also browse through the browse menu on Serato, and you can go to the prepare section if you want to prepare your playlists. Through this knob right here, you can go through your tracks. You can go through them pretty fast. Feels really comfortable, feels good. Solid size. Load them in A or load them in B. I don't even know what I loaded, but it works. You can jump. Expect on any Pioneer unit, you can change the jog mode, vinyl to scratch, or take the vinyl off and just pitch bend. You have your master tempo. Up here you can change the range of the tempo, so your pitch slider can go from 16 all the way to 100. And then obviously if you take the master tempo away, it's like a break. So you have your tempo range right here. I usually like to leave it at 6 if I'm doing mixes within the same BPM range, or 10. I don't do any more than 10 because then the song sounds a little distorted. The mixer feels super solid. faders, they're actually, you can feel resistance on them. So just your typical Pioneer faders, they're good, they feel solid. Another cool, couple of cool things you have is you also have fader start. So you can turn fader start on, and the fader will actually start the song. You can reverse the fader start, which means when you press here, the song will start. If you want to play with it, you have that option. You can activate the fader start on both channels. And I mean, so far this is what we have. This is I've only played with it for about an hour or so, but it looks really solid. This is going to replace my Zone DX. I've had the Zone DX exactly for a year now, and I love the unit, but to be honest with you, I do not use 4-channel mixing as much. Actually, very rarely. And I feel Bridge is going to bring me the additional samples that you typically look for when you have a 4-channel mixer, or if you want to actually mix 3 or 4 songs. I think Bridge is a way to do it. Hopefully it'll come up pretty soon. And all in all, it's super solid. It's Pioneer. It looks a little bit bigger, so you feel like a little bit, I mean, it's like going back into CDJs. It's always a good feel. It's a good look. Obviously it's Pioneer quality, so this thing's gonna last you years. And so far so good. I gotta give it, again, 2 thumbs up. Alright, so big thanks to Ben from NLFXPro.com hooking us up, and I called the guy a million times to check when this thing was released. So we finally got it. Thanks again, Ben. If you guys want to buy some good DJing product, make sure you guys check NLFXPro.com. This is Zio from PromoDJs.com. Thank you for watching.